What's up, everyone? John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here. It's been just about a day since Apple took the wraps off the iPhone 4S, and I wanted to give you my unadulterated, unedited thoughts and impressions about what the iPhone 4S means for the cell phone industry, means for Apple, and means for the three carriers in the US that are going to be carrying it. So, sit back, relax, and get ready for a rant. iPhone 4S came to us yesterday amidst a ton of hype. I got a lot of things that I wanted to talk about here. I purposely didn't write down any notes, so we are going 100% off the cuff, so please, as a warning, deal with my stream of consciousness. Alright, so first, let's talk about the design. Let's just go ahead and get it out in the open. It looks exactly like the iPhone 4. Looks just like this guy, same design, it's going to come in white, it's going to come in black, nothing different. Apple now has established a pattern of design changes every other generation. So the original iPhone 3G was different, yay! iPhone 3GS wasn't different, boo! iPhone 4 different, yay! iPhone 4S, boo! So that seems to be the general feeling amongst the tech-loving world. So the iPhone 4S, for all intents and purposes, is a new phone. They not only doubled or more than doubled the horsepower in the phone, improved the camera, putting on a new OS with one of the killer features, Siri, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But what they didn't do was change the design. And changing the design was what a lot of folks were looking for. Whether or not that actually would have been a positive step or a smaller step, Apple is a victim of their own innovations in the past. We've seen Apple change the mobile space with the iPhone. We've seen Apple change the tablet space with the iPad. We've come to expect Apple to change some other space with their new products. We became victims of the rumor mill, just like Apple's become victims of their own success. So we kept hyping it up, hyping it up, hyping it up. Apple was under no obligation to release a redesigned phone, despite what we might have wanted. So while I am personally extremely disappointed that we didn't at least get a bigger screen, which certainly would have kept the phone on par with the ever-growing attack from Android, and I think the coming onslaught from Windows Phone 7, got back there, they didn't do that. So certainly they're going to be competitive. They could have called it the iPhone Poo and put an Apple logo on a piece of it, and it still probably would have sold millions and millions of units. So volume isn't the issue for Apple, selling units isn't going to be the issue for Apple, but they didn't wow us like they used to. So imagine if you walk into an Apple store and you say, hey, I want to get an iPhone. And they say, okay, we've got a free 3GS, we've got a pretty discounted $100 iPhone 4, or you can spend $400 on an iPhone 4S. They're going to say, what's the difference? Well, they're going to say speed, better camera, and an assistant. Which you can talk to, which sounds weird to some people. I think a lot of folks that aren't, need the cutting edge, that just want to play Angry Birds, want to make phone calls, maybe browse the web, can care less about the differences between the 4 and the 4S. And the iPhone 4 is still probably going to be the right choice for them. So Apple's going to lose out, I think, on a lot of potential market share from folks that would go in, say, I'm looking for a phone that can do everything. Chances are they're going to be redirected to an Android device, depending on what store they go into. Just my thoughts. So what did Apple do right? So this really has gone under the radar. Apple now has made one phone, the iPhone 4S, for all carriers. So that is going to come, this is going to get sort of businessy, so I'll try to make it quick. Essentially what Apple is doing now is they are eliminating the two production design costs that they had. They had a CDMA model, they had a GSM model, and they had two separate chains that used to go out to produce that. Now it's just one for both. So their costs and component costs have gone way, way, way down. Like tremendously down. And that, I think, went behind the scenes as one of the biggest wins that Apple did do, was unifying their product. So the consumer, we don't really care very much, we just want an iPhone. But what that's going to mean for Apple's profits and bottom line is going to be tremendous. A lot of folks, and I read all the tweets that come out in the comments on the videos, are saying Apple just looking for an excuse to make more money from their customers. They'll put out a phone and people will buy it. Well, Apple's a company. They're not a charity. They're not a not-for-profit company. Their job is to make money. People say that like it's a bad thing. Like, oh, this company is trying to make money, or oh, this company has more cash reserves than the U.S. government. Well, that might be scary. It's certainly well within their right to do so. And for people to say that they shouldn't try and make profits is asinine, and is certainly showing a personal OS skew, one way or another. That's sort of another issue to talk about, is the personal feelings and the either love or animosity people have for Apple, and I think people are developing for Google and Android. It's one camp or the other, and no matter what Apple is going to announce, some people are going to hate it, some people were going to like it. Personally, I was extremely disappointed. I just wanted a bigger screen. I've been in awe of 4.3, 4.5, and now larger screens coming out, and I really wanted to see something new from Apple. I'm a former iPhone user. I've always loved using an iPhone. I love Android as well. I'm becoming a really big fan of Windows Phone 7 back there, and I was hoping for something that could compete. Yeah, we got better specs. Yeah, we got Siri, which, okay, let's talk about Siri for a minute. And I mentioned this in my recap video. First of all, it's very cool. And I mentioned on Twitter that, hey, Android had this feature, I believe, 3 or 4 versions ago. And I was mistaken. So the difference here between the Android offering and what Apple's doing, it's not just transcribing your words. So you're not just replying to an email, push the microphone button, hey mom, I'll be home late. It'll type out, hey mom, I'll be home late. What Siri does that's new is it actually interprets the words and does something with them. So you can say, send a text message to, it'll send a text message to. You can say, check the weather, and it can check the weather. So that's neat. It's novel. It's going to create a whole new level of, I said this before, douchebaggery. I feel bad for folks that rely on public transportation because people are going to be screaming into their phones, which was bad enough when they were talking to somebody, but now they're just going to be talking to themselves. Phone! Why is the guy next to me being an ass? And the phone's going to say, because he has Siri. I don't know if it's something I'm ever going to use. It's kind of cool. I'd probably feel silly using it out in public. Maybe I would do it in private. But it might be one of those things that 3 or 4 months from now I say, wow, I don't know how I ever lived without this virtual assistant. So do you guys care? Are you excited about Siri? Are you not excited about Siri? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. So at the end of the day, iPhone 4S I think was a big disappointment. Now Apple certainly brought a lot of stuff to the table and brought a lot of improvements. Dual core processor, better camera that supposedly, we'll see when it comes out, shoots amazing pictures. iOS 5, which brought a ton of new features, but we knew about all those features in iOS 5. It wasn't that exciting. Perhaps if we had seen iOS 5 get unveiled yesterday, then that would have been a bit more exciting. But the excitement just wasn't there with this event. I mean, they opened the event by talking about an application that makes greeting cards. That probably could have done with a press release and not 25 minutes out of a keynote. It was extremely boring. And as Tim Cook's first sort of foray onto the stage as head of Apple, it was definitely disappointing from that aspect as well. Certainly this isn't his doing. He just came on a little while ago. The iPhone 4S obviously has Steve Jobs and company's prints all over it, as will products that are going to be coming out for probably the next 1 to 2 years. So Tim Cook doesn't deserve any sort of blame for this, or sort of blame heaped upon just him. But it does add a bit of pressure for Apple to do something interesting with the next iPhone, the iPhone 5, which we may see in June of next year and sort of reset now this launch period of always being every June. I would expect that we'll see a new iPhone. So the big winner, in my opinion, I think there were 2 kind of winners. So the big winner yesterday was Sprint. Sprint not only now can offer the iPhone 4S to its customers, Sprint's got at least where I am in Southern California, has an awesomely reliable network. It's crystal clear, it works great. And now they can also offer an iPhone 4. That went under their radar too, so Sprint's got both phones that they didn't have before. And I think AT&T was also a winner. They got the HSPA Plus variety. So now you can get 14.4 megabits per second down, which is almost twice the speed of what you could get with the iPhone 4. And it's going to depend on where you are and what that speed's actually going to be. But that's a tremendous potential improvement to double, potentially at least, double your download speed. Verizon, I think it's sort of a neutral. They get the upgrade, but nothing really new and different. Sprint now can offer the phones. AT&T can say they have faster data, and Verizon can just say we've got the phone too. Big loser, obviously T-Mobile, not getting to carry the device. And the big loser also were the blogs, the techno buffaloes and sites of the world. I think we were victims to the hype rumor. We hyped it up, and this is all the press. We were seeing case manufacturers put out potential new designs. We'd seen some large publications talk about exclusivity on different carriers, and it got to be a lot of fun, but that's all it was fun. and the speculation led to unfair expectations, which inevitably is going to lead to a letdown, which is kind of what I feel right now. I'm going to look at the iPhone 4S, look at the iPhone 4, and not be able to tell the difference until I push the home button and see if it talks to me. So, what do you guys think about the iPhone 4S? Disappointment? Are you excited? Are you not excited? You going to upgrade? If you're on the fence, I can't really see a compelling reason yet to go out and upgrade. I don't think you're going to want to sign your name to a 2-year contract for, 2 generations of phones. You're going to have to wait till it comes out, and I think you're going to miss out on big steps between the iPhone 4S and the iPhone 5, whatever that might be. So guys, I am John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. Sure to check us out for all your tech news, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.